Welcome. Are you ready to get scared? You should better bring someone with you. You don't want to be alone after listening to this. You don't want to? Okay. Be brave then. Let me tell you that the experiences that I'm going to share with you today happened in 3 different places. The first experience happened at my grandma's place. The second one at my own place, my own house, where I grew up. And the last experience that I'm going to share with you happened in the highways of Mexico when I was traveling back in the north. So, are you ready? Be ready. Before I start, let me ask you some questions. Do you believe in this or not? Do you think it's a product of the mind or some kind of result of being too tired? I don't know. I personally think there are things that we cannot explain, but there are some forces, so we should respect them. Well, said that, I hope nothing happens to me today after telling all this, because I am alone at home today and I am here locked in the wardrobe. So I feel a little bit scared. So the first experience that happened at my grandma's place happened many years ago. So back then my mom would work in a market that was set up each Sunday outside my grandma's place in that road. To be ready for that, we would leave my actual place on Saturday. We would accompany my mom to the market and buy all the ingredients, products, and my mom could work the whole Saturday preparing stuff for the next day. That day happened as normal. We were there helping my mom, playing with my cousins, talking, watching TV, nothing different. So we went to sleep. I remember that day I didn't see anything that may trigger, or I don't know, maybe a scary movie. Nothing. And then I remember waking up around 3 a.m. Quite unexpected in me, because I don't really wake up unless I have to go to the washroom. But at that day I didn't wake up because of that. It's because I was listening. There were some noises that disturbed my sleep. So I opened my eyes and I was like, there's too much noise. And I was just like, it's so early. The room was completely dark and the only light that was coming was from the window. And I just looked around. My mom was sleeping, my sister was sleeping, and then I noticed those noises that woke me up. We were sleeping in the second floor of my grandma's house. In the second floor there are the bedrooms, and in the first floor is the kitchen and the washrooms and a big yard. I am pretty sure that those noises were coming from the kitchen, because I remember clearly listening how glasses were breaking and how the pans and bowls and everything was like getting thrown, and they were making this horrible noise when they touch the floor, when they are thrown with so much anger. So I was feeling I was like, this is so strange, like what's going on? It was so dark and late. I didn't dare to go out to give a look or something. So I started to move my mom, telling her like, Mom, please wake up. Mom, can you listen to that? Can you hear that? But she didn't answer back. She just moved away and told me to let her sleep. The noises kept going on. Glasses breaking, pans. You know how's that noise. It wasn't stopping. At times, the noises were stronger. At times, it stopped for a while. And at times, it came back again. Everyone was asleep. And at that time, I didn't have a phone to call my aunt or my cousins that were sleeping on the next room. I didn't dare to leave the bedroom that night. It kept going. I was so scared. I couldn't understand what was going on. The only thing that I did was just cover myself with the blankets, and I got as close as I could to my mom's and my sister's body, and then I closed my eyes. The noise kept going, and I just tried to distract myself until I fell asleep. The next day, of course, I told everyone what I heard, and they told me that that would happen very often. That there were nights when something or someone was throwing all the kitchen tools, everything. So they knew about it. They told me like, oh, now you heard it. Yeah, it happens. And I was just so shocked why they didn't consider it like strange or something. They just said it probably was a soul that couldn't find any rest. After that, I remember I didn't want to spend the night at my grandma's place for some time because I ended up very scared. My grandma's place there's something there. The next day, I asked if anyone found the kitchen tools in destroyed or something, and they said nope, it was just as normal, the same way they left it. My mom did her thing and we went home, and I was just so happy to be back in my own house. Alright, so are you ready for the second story? These stories I'm going to share with you happened at my house where I grew up. My mom's still living there, but she says nothing happened to her, just once, but many years ago. I'm going to share that story also, but let me begin with this experience begin with a time, with a season when I was fighting with my sister a lot. We were teenagers and we could fight a lot for nonsense things, just as who wore each other's clothes and stuff like that. So the fights were that much that I think it started to attract bad energies, bad things. And even my mom could tell us to stop fighting that much. It would happen almost daily. It was really bad, really bad. That crazy season started with me being molested whenever I was going to the washroom to take a shower. One day, my mom and my sister were in the kitchen and I was taking a shower, and suddenly someone was knocking my door. And I will just remember saying like, hey, what's up? What happened? What do you need? thinking it was my sister. But there was no answer. Then I just kept taking a shower. And then again, I got reply again. What do you want? What do you need? Stop doing this, it's annoying. No answer. No answer. After the third time, I just put on my towels and I went out. There was no one. I went to the kitchen. My mom and my sister were there watching TV. And I could just tell my sister to stop bothering me. And she could just look at me saying like, what are you talking about? We've been here all the time. And I could just be like, no, but you were knocking to my door. Or who was doing it? Mom, did you do it? My mom would be like, no, I didn't. And I would just feel super scared and be like, who did it? There's no one else here. I remember my mom would just answer like, this is because you and your sister keep fighting a lot. Stop fighting this much. That thing kept happening for many days. I could even say maybe for weeks. By the time I was so scared to take showers, because almost daily it could happen. I remember one day I was still skeptical, and I was thinking maybe it was my sister and she could just hide as soon as possible. So in this washroom there was two little windows, and you could reach them if you climb on the toilet. One day I just opened the shower and climbed the toilet and wait a little bit. When those noises started to come again, I just stand up as quick as possible and look outside the window to catch my sister, because I was pretty sure it was her. But there was nothing. Nothing. The day I got the most scared was when it knocked my door with so much kind of anger. Oh my goodness. I just shouted as loud as I could, and I just said, leave me alone, stop annoying me, go away. After replying with so much angerness and stuff like that, I don't remember it kept happening. But I think my mom really helped there, because actually she had to bring someone to pray and throw some holy water in my house, because the things were like turning so heavy, so crazy. After that, I was super scared to take a shower or to go to the washroom normally, because I was pretty sure it would happen again, but luckily it didn't. It didn't. The door knocking. Another story that I would like to share with you. It happened in the same season when I was fighting a lot with my sister. I think this was actually the most craziest thing. We were in my bedroom and we were fighting with each other, shouting over a piece of cloth or something. And suddenly there was a noise, a kind of voice whisper. It said nothing. We were fighting and suddenly that time it was pretty much longer than this. That noise was enough to make my sister and I silent, and we just looked at each other, and I remember telling to my sister, you think that will make me feel scared, right? And the other person just answered, I thought it was you. So I just ran out of my bedroom and went with my mom, who was downstairs. She was in her bedroom. I remember we just told her what happened, and then the noise, the sound. And she could be just like, this is because you keep fighting, you are attracting evil presence here. And they are molesting only you because you are the ones who are fighting. Nothing is happening to me because I'm not doing anything of that. And I just do my praying and I'm in peace. But you keep fighting. Of course, they are molesting you too. So it was pretty bad. And I remember after that we stopped really fighting because we didn't want that to happen again. It was really scary. It was so clear. I was thinking if it was my mom, maybe we would hear that sound, like, you know how it sounds when someone is calling you from outside, from the other side of the door. That sound was heard just like it was there in the place. It was not me, it was not my sister, because when it was happening, we were just looking at each other. I will never forget that. And it was enough to keep us in peace. What do you think? It's pretty bad, right? I hope that never happened to you. So please don't fight. Don't fight with your family members. Don't fight with other people. Fight only brings bad things. Of course, sometimes we do mistakes and we get angry and we shout, we fight. But just don't let it become a habit. Because in my case, at that time, it became a kind of habit between me and my sister. We were fighting almost daily. And we could not stand watching each other. So it's not good. It's not good to live like that. Okay? Another experience that happened at my place was when I think that presence didn't let me get in my bedroom. One day I was going to my bedroom. It was late night and I was walking towards my bedroom. I opened the door and something just pushed it back. There was no one in my bedroom. So I remember just running away and going with my mom and telling her to please open the door for me because I was so scared to touch the door again in that moment. I just told her something pushed the door back. It was not the wind because the window was closed, and it's just so bad, so scary, and I hope that never happens to me again. Never. Yeah, that season was not nice at all. Another thing that happened was during the night. I was sleeping alone during the time I didn't share the bedroom with my sister anymore. And I remember feeling how one corner of my bed was the same way it feels when someone sits on the corner. And I just remember feeling that, how it was getting pushed down. And I remember just like waking up and going out. And I don't remember if I went with my mom or with my sister, or if I just turned on the light. I don't remember what I did after that. But yeah, that feeling, that memory is clear, quite clear. How the bed was getting pushed down. Oh, so do you want to listen another story that happened at my house? This is the only experience that was shared by my mom. So it goes like this. In my house, after a few weeks I was born, after a few months I was born, my uncle passed. And the ceremony happened there. We call it velar. In English I don't remember. But my uncle was getting velado there. So then he was buried and everything. My mom recalls going back and still sewing the big candles and the flowers, and feel a little bit scared because of that. She went to her bedroom and left me in my baby bed, and she went to the kitchen. She said that after a few minutes I came with her. I was crawling and I just came like, but my mom was like, how is it possible? She's here. I left her in the baby's bed. There are some tall walls. She cannot even walk. She cannot stand up. So how is it possible she came out? And even if she tried, she could just fall down and hurt herself, and she could cry. How is it possible she just came here crawling? So she was thinking my dad took me out and that he was hiding somewhere. So my mom said that she just carried me. She started to shout, ha ha ha, so funny, why are you taking the baby out? And no answer. And then she was like calling my dad, and then like, husband, are you there? No one. My dad was not at home. She says that someone took me out, and that's the reason I came crawling with her in the second floor. She left me in the first floor, and then she went to the second floor, and then I reached her to the second floor. Quite scary. A ghost took me out of my baby bed. That's my mom's story. After we got our dog, nothing happened. I think dogs really help you, really protect you. So my dear Cookies, that is now an angel. She took good care of us. She protected us of every kind of evil thing or presence. Yeah. The third story that I want to share with you happened in the highways of Mexico. We were traveling to Mazatlan in North Mexico. It happened during the night. We were in the bus and we were just enjoying the view, because you know how in the highways you can actually do some nice stargaze. I remember looking at the sky, nothing different, And then my mom would just shout like crazy and say, close the windows, close the windows. And we did it, but still I kept looking at. And I just remember seeing something flying, just like this, like a big ball of fire. It happened so quickly. And then I would tell my mom like, hey, what's that? What happened? And she could just tell, those are the witches, brujas, we call them in Spanish. So she was like, there are witches here, and they take the shape of a fire ball. So she said, don't open the window, don't open the curtains. It is said that they try to get children to suck their blood. So my mom was worried about my sister, who was much younger at the time. So I remember just feeling scared. I wanted to look out, but the thought of being abducted, or my sister being abducted by this, made me feel scared, and I didn't dare to open the curtain to keep looking. But I remember the quick image that I saw, like this fireball just flying like this and being not so close from the bus, but visible right there next to the bushes and trees and stuff. In Mexico, there are a lot of stories about this, about witches or brujas that are right there at night, and that they are just flying there, and after they go down, they kinda like take their arms and put them in, and the legs, and they take human shape form, or they take the animal shape. Like, it is often described as black and with red eyes, and it is known as Nahual. So people tell you that you shouldn't go out, especially in the villages. When it's dark, you shouldn't go out, otherwise you might encounter with the Nahual or with the brujas. So that's pretty much it. Those were the experiences that I wanted to share with you. What do you think? You can also share, if you want, some of your own stories. We certainly have many. Of course, there are things that happen and we find no real explanation to it. And because of that, they stay deep in our memory. So well, have a peaceful night. Don't turn off the lights, and try not to be alone, because you don't know if today will be the day you experience something. See you in another